Hello, my name is Kayla Owens, and at the time of this recording, I am a second year grad student in the conflict resolution program, and I was also a 2019 summer field fellow. And I would like to take a few minutes to talk about my experience with the program. So, I was very excited to be a 2019 summer field fellow. Um, Completing my first year as a grad student in the program, learning about conflict resolution theory, qualitative and quantitative data collection, transitional justice, and all the theoretical foundation blocks that go into what we study in the conflict resolution program. It was very exciting and a very wonderful opportunity to be able to take that learning and apply it to the real world. And I actually did my fellowship in two locations. So I did my first part of the fellowship in Cape Town, South Africa, and my second part of the summer of the fellowship in Washington, D.C., at the, Department of Justice Community Relations Service. And so it was very exciting to take that knowledge that I had gained for my first year as a grad student and do a real world application in different parts of the world and see how it connects and what makes sense in some parts of the world and what doesn't, and how approaches to conflict resolution need to be more flexible than I had realized before going into the program. So while I was in Cape Town, South Africa, I was a part of a social transformation post-apartheid South Africa program put on by Georgetown, and it was really to study the aftermath and the peace building efforts of Cape Town, South Africa in particular, as well as the nation. So we worked specifically with an organization called Mustadafin, who essentially brought resources to rural communities that were not able, for various reasons, to reintegrate into urban life post-apartheid. So instead of families in more rural, out of the way areas having to worry about how to get into Cape Town or into cities to go to the doctor or to get access to education, this organization brought those resources to them. And that's a very kind of shallow way of explaining what they do. They did so many things. It's a very amazing organization. And it also taught me and the group that I was with how conflict resolution is really a bottom-up approach as well as a top-down approach. And you really need that bottom-up community strengthening and community based approaches to conflict resolution to have lasting impacts and to be able to kind of hold a community together when maybe the top-down approaches or trickle-down approaches don't work or are not as effective as they need to be. So that was really what I learned during my time there, was that conflict resolution does not look one way, and even the theoretical approaches that we study, there is no one size fits all. And especially when you are an outsider trying to help another group or part of the world resolve conflict, it really needs to be on their terms, and it's never, you never barge in and say, this is what you need to do, this conflict resolution. Um, it really needs to be working with a community on what they need and having a bottom up approach to solving their conflict, or to resolving, sorry, their conflict. And then that does spread and creates peace building that familiar, I wasn't familiar to, I'm sorry, before. And that also helped with moving into my second part when I worked with the Department of Justice Community Relations Service, which essentially serves as America's peacemaker and response to domestic hate crimes or domestic biased incidents. And again, if a community is facing a hate crime or a bias incident, they will ask the Community Relations Service, or CRS, to come and perform services such as mediation, facilitation, community dialogue, uh, um, cultural competency training, etc., to again do that bottom up approach and equip a community with how to handle incidents of bias, so that they can make sure that incidents do not happen in the future, as well as just spreading knowledge about conflict resolution. And so that was what I did during my field fellowship. And I was able to actually continue working with the Department of Justice into this year, into my second year, which was a wonderful perk, I guess, or a wonderful way to continue the work and continue seeing how what we are doing in class works in different levels, in government levels, in community levels, in individuals, in groups, in different groups, in intergroup relations and everything. So um, I was so grateful and so happy to the Summer Field Fellows program. I recommend it if you can do it. And I really want to thank the conflict resolution team for being there for the students and providing support and resources when needed. It was definitely a difficult time just with being in different places and different experiences, different parts of the world, a little bit of culture shock. It was good to know that the conflict resolution department had our backs. And it was also great to know that we could reach out if we needed anything. So I can provide more information if needed. I can give my contact information. But yes, I hope that was helpful and welcome, I guess. Congratulations and look forward to your next steps. Okay, bye bye.